guys, how are you all doing? And welcome to this video. Okay, so we're here in Manchester, Greater Manchester. Welcome to Stretford. We're here at Stretford Police Station. All right. Now, before we get into this video, this reporting, please, if you could do me the honours and smashing that like button and also smashing that subscribe button and helping us get to 80,000 subscribers, I'd appreciate it a lot. Okay, so we're here, like I say, in Manchester to tell you about a story which is, it's got a comical side to it and also a real true side to it as well. Now, this story goes by PC, an officer from Greater Manchester Police. He arrested UKIP secretary for threats to burn down a nightclub because he wasn't allowed in. Now, the funniest part about this is when he was handcuffed and put in the back of the van doors came swinging open and he fell out the back of the van and cut his face open. Now, I wish I had a video to show you. I don't. You just got to take my word for it. I will be quoting some of the news article in on this story as well. So yeah, so like I say, guys, it's a funny one. UKIP secretary was handcuffed the back of a van. The back doors came flying open and he fell out of the van and smashed his face open, which needed to go to hospital. The officer is under investigation, and I'm here today to really find out if the officer's still on duty. Now, as much as it's got a funny side to it, the police do have a duty of care, all right, especially when you're in handcuffs. Because if you're not in handcuffs, because if you're in handcuffs, obviously it's you can't move, you can't even stop yourself from falling. So yeah, you got the Greater Manchester Police Crime Investigation Unit here. But yeah, anyway, guys, we're gonna get into this video. We're gonna ask some of the officers what they think of the officer, and also, whilst people are in handcuffs, why it's so important to make sure that the care of the inmate or the prisoner is looked after. All right, guys, here we are, Greater Manchester. Let's get into it. The PC constable is called Daniel Gaffney. He is getting done for gross misconduct. And sorry about the wind. So yeah, he's getting done for gross misconduct. And I want to know if he's still on duty. It'd be nice to know if he is or if he isn't. So we're going to go into the police station now to do some investigation. I'm going to pretend that I need to speak to Mr. Gaffney to see if he's still on duty. Let's go. So the officer's just going to check to see if PC Gaffney still works for the police. I've been to this police station before. I've spoken to this lady. Anyway. I don't know.
He's offline, so it means that he's not on duty.
So he still works for the Greater Manchester today? Yeah. How is he still working for him when he's...
I don't know. We don't know
get involved.
If a police officer has been in trouble for any reason, we don't get involved. The
gross misconduct is getting done for because he arrested the UKIP secretary and he handcuffed him. He put him in the back of a van and the van door opened. He smashed his face out on the floor.
I've done a search on what we call Link.
Yeah.
And it shows there that he's offline, but it doesn't say how long he's been offline. So
could he be suspended?
Could have been, but as I say, we don't get to know anything.
But he wouldn't say offline if he weren't part of the police force, or it'd say, or would it?
Yeah, unless if he's just been suspended for investigation, then he'd still be on our system.
Right.
It's only when they obviously get sacked is when it gets taken off the system. So
he's still on the system. So he's
possibly still being.
And there's no way of finding out when he's next online.
No.
Because obviously they have, rotors, don't they?
Yeah, but we can't see the rotors.
Oh. Oh, okay. Cool. Right. That's all I wanted to know. Yeah. Thank you anyway. Cheers. Thank you. Cheers. Oh, thank you. Cheers. Is PC Gaffney? Have you spoken to him lately?
Who?
PC Gaffney.
No, I've not.
Daniel Gaffney.
I'm not too sure who that is.
Ah, okay.
Alright, take care.
Cheers. Thanks. So anyway, so he's still on the system. Now let me just say this. Yeah, I understand there's pending investigations going on, but he's obviously he's banked to rights. He should be gone. That's it. You know, handcuffed, put back in the van. The van doors wasn't open, shut properly. UKIP secretary, boom, fell out the back, smashed his face open. Guys, what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to put a couple of screenshots of the police officer who's under investigation, and also a bit of the article which I read, which yeah, it's comical, but I know some people in the comments will say, well, it's UKIP, who gives a shit? Listen, no, duty of care is important, and this is why we're here to report it. Anyway, let's see what some of the officers have got to say. I just want to interrupt here by saying big thank you to everybody who has subscribed and helped us on this journey. We are growing so well. We're doing the investigation and also reporting. As you guys know, I'm not going to mention his name, but we're investigating a certain someone at the moment, and it's unfortunate that that person has now become personal by mentioning my child and kids, which I've always said this isn't personal, this is just my job. But for more updates on that case and also reporting, follow me on Twitter. My link is in the bio. Click that link and follow me on Twitter if you've got Twitter. I will be posting and keeping you guys updated on information as it comes in. Seems like there's an ambulance inside the car park. I don't know why, but I just have this funny feeling the ambulance isn't there for a police officer. I have a feeling that the ambulance is there for an inmate. Hiya mate, hello love, sorry. PC Gaffney, do you know who he is?
I'm so sorry, I don't.
Well, PC Gaffney, yeah? He handcuffed someone. Have you got a minute? I want to ask you. I've got a quick. Thanks. Thank you.
Are you alright just speaking to me? Because I don't know what this is about.
Yeah, I can speak to you. That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Do you
So.
mind just putting the cameras down?
Oh, do you not want me to film?
What's it filming for?
Okay, I'll tell you. So PC Gaffney, he arrested a man, UKIP secretary. He put him in handcuffs, and he put him in a van.
Right.
As he was driving off, the van doors was open. The man fell out of the van, smashed all his face open.
Okay.
Now, I've just asked if he's still part of the police force, and it seems like he is. So obviously I'm here today just to report on that story, but also I'm here to ask you really...
Sorry, I've just eaten.
Yeah, if you pull up, yeah. Is the ambulance here for a police officer, or is it here for
No,
a
just
detainee?
red-faced.
Alright, so obviously I'm here just to ask, you know, when you handcuff someone, right? Do you have a duty of care? So when you're handcuffing someone, you've got a duty of care. You've got to make sure that that person is under your care, right? You've got to make sure he's looked after.
Yeah.
So that officer there, he's still part of the police force because he's still on your accounts and records.
Right.
So obviously my question is pretty simple. Should he be sacked for what he did?
I don't know the circumstances.
I've just told you. If that's what's happened, what I've just told you.
Okay. Are you alright just to put the camera down?
Why were you not willing to answer me that?
Listen, I literally don't know the circumstances.
I've just told you it.
Okay.
A duty of care is important, correct?
Of course it is.
We've seen too many people die in the hands of the police.
Okay. And I'm completely aware.
Do you see what I mean?
At this moment in time, I obviously don't know what's happening.
Well, things need to be looked at, and
Okay.
the police need to be very aware that the public do know about this, and the public will know about this, and it's important that you guys start thinking about your...
Of course.
Do you know what I mean? When you're manhandling people and you're putting people in handcuffs and stuff. Yeah. Well, it's not really. Have you got a minute? Well, I'm just speaking to the lady. If you want to come and have a chat, I'm more than welcome to. So look, like I say, so it's important, obviously, duty of care.
I'm so sorry, but I've got to literally go to this job.
Right, so...
I appreciate where you're coming from.
Do you see what I mean?
I do. But I've literally got to go.
So, should it be off the force for that?
I can't comment. I can't.
Why?
Because I don't know any full details of it.
Is it okay for you to go and handcuff someone now and then just not have a duty of care for him?
Like I said, I can't comment.
Well, when you handcuff someone today, will you remember that, what I've just talked about?
Yes, I will do.
Right.
As I said, I'm unable to comment, I'm afraid.
Well, things need to be looked at, sweetheart, because I'm sorry, but we're living in a world now where the police are getting away with too much. He should not. He should have been handcuffed if you weren't going to look after him. What? Well, excuse me. Okay, so
What's your name, pal?
I'm not going to give you my name, but let me just tell you this, yeah.
There's not much I can really do.
Well, all right. My name's Peter Pan. Does that make you feel better? What's your name?
My name's James.
Right, James. Nice to meet you. Right. So, James, look. The problem is, PC Gaffney. You know who he is?
I don't know.
Well, he's from the police force. All right. He arrested UKIP secretary. He had him in handcuffs and he put him in the back of a van, right? He drove off and the back van's doors were still open. The man was in handcuffs behind his back. He fell out of the back door and he smashed his face all over the floor, yeah? He's obviously ended up in hospital. I'm asking you guys, really, as officers, you have a duty of care, correct? And it's important to make sure that upholds. Otherwise, just stop being police officers. Go and be a lollipop men. You know, you've got to remember that. When people are in handcuffs, especially when they're in handcuffs, you've got to protect them. Because they're defenceless, they can't protect themselves.
Unfortunately, that's out of my control.
I know, I understand that, but I'm here really just to get your opinion. And should that officer should he be sacked?
It's not for me to say, pal. It's not for me to say.
Why is that?
It's not
Well, I can say this to you. I can say this to you, yeah. I can say this. If I seen a man right now beating the hell out of another guy, yeah,
Andrew,
I would.
What was your name, Andrew?
No.
What was it?
If I seen a man beating the hell out of another man, yeah, you know what I would do? I'd ring the police. Doesn't matter what my name is. Listen to what I'm asking. Why are you ignoring me?
Right, well, you know, there's not much I can really do if you're
Well-
refusing to tell me.
Well, okay, my name's Peter. Say ignorance. It doesn't get you anywhere. It's just, you could just tell. You know what I mean? Like, they just don't want to know. They just don't want to listen. Why are police officers so ignorant to very important questions? Why don't they just say, yeah, you're right. You know, if that's what's happened, then yeah, he shouldn't be a police officer because clearly he doesn't know how to police. He doesn't know how to look after people. He doesn't know how to safeguard people. Officer, can I just have you got a second? Sorry. Yeah, I'm not so bad. How are you? Hey, it's good to see an officer with a smile on his face. What's this about? You had your Weetabix, haven't you, this one? Right, look, it's very important, really, why I'm here. And thank you for your time, by the way.
Yeah, you're right.
So, a police officer, PC Gaffney, do you know who he is?
I don't know.
Okay, well, PC Gaffney is an officer who handcuffed UKIP secretary. Okay, he handcuffed him. He put him in the back of a van, and he didn't have the van doors shut.
Right.
He drove off. As you can imagine, you've fallen out. He's fell out, smashed all his face up. He's ended up in hospital. Right, so I'm sitting here really as a member of public who's reporting this news and going, okay, you as a police officer have a duty of care. Is that right?
Yes, that's true.
So if you arrest me, handcuff me, you've got to make sure my life's not in danger, right? So you've got to put everything in place to make sure I'm not,
Right.
because I'm defenseless. I can't do anything, right? My hands are behind my back. You fall out of the van, you smash your face, right? So I'm asking really police officers to say, yeah, you don't condone that behaviour. You don't want that to happen, and the officer should be off duty. I've just gone in there and asked about the officer. It's still on your books. It's still working for you. Now, hear me out. If I got a person, I don't know, and then just in a wheelchair, defenceless, right? Someone who can't protect themselves, and I reeled them down a hill, knowing fine well he couldn't protect himself, I'd be arrested. Similar, isn't it?
Just run that part of me again.
If I reeled someone in a wheelchair down a hill,
Yeah.
knowing fine well they couldn't stop themselves,
Yeah.
you'd arrest me, wouldn't you?
You would think so, but without knowing the full circumstances.
But that's kind of what's happened in this van, right? Because he's handcuffed, he can't move, he can't protect himself. He's gone down, obviously driving. He's fell out of the van, face first, and splattered straight on a pavement.
Can you just say that you're asking me to comment on an investigation that's ongoing, or that's happened, that I have no real understanding of the full circumstances?
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to.
But if that really was happened, what I just said there regarding the police van and the man with the handcuffs that he fell out of the van, should that man be arrested? Because there's no reason why that van shouldn't be shut, right? Is there any?
So who are you saying should be arrested?
Well, not arrested. Sorry, not arrested. At least lose his job. PC Gaffney. Well, what do you mean? Why? Because he's not looked after the professional.
So has this been reported?
Yeah.
To the IPCC?
IPCC.
Okay.
But obviously, again, I would be arrested if I wheeled someone down in a wheelchair down a hill.
What's the findings from the IPCC?
Well, it's still on your record, so he's obviously still working.
As it's an ongoing investigation, which I don't have sight
Yeah.
of, it's something we would have to take up.
I'm not asking you to comment on that case, but I'm putting a scenario to you for you to say, right, what would you do would you allow that? Would you like to work with that man, knowing fine well he's not got any care in the world for other people's?
Again, I can't comment on that.
Come on.
I can't
Why can't we comment on that? Because if you said to me, if that man wheeled that guy down in the wheelchair, I'd say, yeah, he's wrong, get him locked up.
Yeah.
Why is it I can comment on situations like that, but yet you can't?
Because I've got to be impartial. No, I've got to see all the evidence in front of me, haven't I? I can't just say yes, I would do that, or no, I wouldn't do that. I need to have full sight of all.
What is the reason why the back doors won't be shut?
I don't know. That's
what could be the reason?
These are the questions that I would ask, and I'm sure that are being asked as part of the IPCC.
You've got two doors, haven't you, in the van? You've got the main door and you've got the side door.
Well, presuming, but in most cases you would like to think
that there's two of them, right?
Not just a one door.
Well, even if it was just one door, that door wasn't shut properly. You handcuffed someone in the back of that van, he drove off and he fell out of it and he smashed his face, he had to go to hospital.
Again,
that's what's happened.
The circumstances that you've told me sound slightly different than when you first. He's been handcuffed. He's in the van, and the officers drove off, and he's fell out of the van, and he's not been able to protect himself, and he smashed his face on the. Personally, I find it hard to understand how someone could be in the back of a police van and the police van drive off without the doors being.
That's what's happened.
So again, without knowing the full circumstances.
PC Gaffney is obviously getting gross misconduct. He's getting done for gross misconduct.
Well, if you're saying he's getting done for gross misconduct, let the investigation take its course. See what the outcome is of the investigation, and then if there are any issues that you feel are wrong with that investigation, let's take it from there.
But try and guess what? This was 2018. He's been on pay. He's been on pay since then. Okay. This is like 3 years.
It's something that isn't.
I know, but I know what you're saying, and I do respect you what you're saying. But you know, we all pay tax. We all work hard to pay tax, and people are paying 50% tax because they're making that much money, right? You know, celebrities and stuff, and footballers or whatever. They're making. No,
I'm not.
No, we're not in that bracket. I don't think we ever will be. But yeah, so you've got to understand, like, a lot of people are paying a lot of tax. And the last thing they want to do, and us, we don't want to see money being wasted. This police officer clearly didn't have, he didn't care for the inmate or the prisoner at the time, and he should have done. First things first, when you handcuff someone, any time of the day, what do you do? What's your first thing? What comes into your mind when you handcuff someone?
You keep hold of him.
Exactly. Of course, and that's the right way to do it. You keep hold of him. You make sure, because he's in your care. You've got to make sure he doesn't hurt himself, harm himself.
Again. I don't know the full story.
No, but you're kind of saying it, aren't you? I wasn't there, but we've seen the news.
I wasn't there. Is the investigation ongoing?
It's been going on since 2018, so 2021.
Let's wait until the investigation's concluded. There's some sort of decision or rationale provided as to why that decision has been made. If there is any issue with it that you feel is wrong, let's revisit it and let's see why it's wrong and why you think.
Have you ever been suspended from the police?
No.
You know, when you get suspended, you get full pay, right? So you get looked after pretty well. So he's probably lived on holiday for 3 years.
Okay. We're speculating.
We are speculating, but come on, 3 years under investigation. He's getting done for gross misconduct. You've seen him in court hearings, you see the pictures of him and stuff. And I just sit there and I think, how is this man he should be off the force now. He shouldn't be getting out.
So which force is this?
Manchester.
Okay.
So he's getting paid by us, the taxpayers, for nothing.
Who in the IPCC have you spoken to about this?
I haven't, and I'm going to try and get a report on them, but they probably, like you said, they probably won't. But this is it. I'm asking you as a police officer, right? I'm saying, look, if you've seen something like that, what would you do?
It's like saying, what would you do in this fabricated scenario?
No. If you said to me, what would you do if a man was getting his head kicked in down the road? Do you know what I'd do? I'd bring the police. I'd tell you an answer. Right. What would you do if a police officer was abusing his powers?
If he was abusing his powers,
well,
I'd report him. I'd report him
Who
to
to?
my supervisor. I'd report him to the PSB and see where that.
Are you sure you're a police officer? Because usually police officers don't say this, but go on.
Yeah, I'd report him to the PSB.
Have you ever had to do that?
No, because I've not come across any sort of.
And how long have you been in the force?
Coming up to 20 years.
And you've never seen one officer?
No, because I will report it.
Come
Why
on,
not?
Mate. It's natural. It's natural.
I've told you. I've told you. I've never been suspended because of that. The fact that I've not done anything wrong, because I followed the rules that I've signed up to.
Yeah.
And by following the rules that I signed up to, I've got a duty to report anything like this to the PSB so it can be investigated. If I wasn't doing that, I would be in the wrong, and then therefore I could be investigated. Then why would I want that on my content?
That's true. It's a good point, by the way, and I know what you're saying. But in 20 years, naturally, you're going to have seen something wrong.
Why?
In 20, well, why wouldn't you?
But why would I?
Because surely, have you never seen a police officer speeding?
Right, we're going off the initial gender.
No, I know. You're right. We are. But yeah, you're right. And the thing is, naturally, we're going to see things wrong, and we are. But because they're your colleagues, you're not going to want to dab on them. Just like you're seeing drug dealers and their friends don't want to dab on them, right? You're not going to want to dab on each other. So what I'm trying to say is, me as a reporter, I'm saying, right, how to build this bridge is to go, right, when we start seeing police officers dabbing on police officers, you might start seeing neighbourhood watch come back. People dabbing on others, because that's gone. It been. Remember, they used to have TV adverts and everything about that, but now no one wants to help you, because that's what's got going on. So yeah, it would be nice to start seeing police officers to start arresting other officers for their misconduct and everything. Then
do you not think that goes on by the PSP?
Have you ever arrested a police officer?
Not, because there's a department that does that.
What, arrest them, do they?
Yeah.
Okay. What's that called, by the way?
PSP.
Is it?
That, yeah. So.
Okay.
Going back to your third thing. Have we got any further on? Have you got the answers that you were looking for?
It would be nice to hear you say, you know what, if that is true what you're saying, he shouldn't be on the force because he didn't have a duty of care.
Well, you're not going to get that from me, because...
Come on!
What I've got to
Come on.
do is refer you to the IPCC, if that's the part of the investigation that you're looking to. Or if in fact you've got a question, would you like to speak to the press office about it?
It's a good answer. Yeah. But like, if you said to me, did you see that car crash down there? And I said, well, I didn't. And then you said, well, if
you're asking if you're
I'd say, well,
to comment on a specific event,
yeah,
then that's different. But you're asking me to comment on an event.
A specific event, then. There you go.
I know nothing about.
I've told you what I know.
Yeah, I've told you what I know. Nothing. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's the first time that I've ever heard his name.
Have you never heard of the officer's name?
No, I've honestly never heard of the officer's
Okay, because they obviously...
You've got to appreciate,
yeah,
we're working with such a big force.
Of course.
I don't know every single
No, I understand that. But he has worked from this station and he has worked from others. But obviously, like you said, there's a lot of police officers. But look, I just want really a little bit of faith back into the public. I'm here today reporting on news. As a police officer, you've been very professional, by the way. Sergeant.
I am, yeah.
Sergeant. Yeah, very professional, and I really appreciate your time. And you know what? You've obviously worked up the ranks to get to where you are. Yeah. And you wouldn't have got to a sergeant if you did abuse your powers. And because everything's logged, right? Everything, is it all on your record? And can I just ask you, to become a sergeant, does it go by case, or can you have something bad on your record which could still give you...
To be honest, I don't know how it works,
right,
but I can only speak from my own personal circumstances. So there's a set guideline, a set process to become a sergeant, or for any promotion. There's a legal exam that you need to take. There's work-based assessments that need to take place. So there's different stages that you need to go through.
And everything gets looked at. Every case looks, because I know there's officers who are sergeants who have got a few things on the records which have not been obviously been dismissed to give them sergeant, because you are at the moment recruiting, aren't you? Is it 40,000 new or 30,000 new police officers, like, up and down the country? Yeah.
Well, as you're probably aware, being a reporter, so you say, which reporting?
So it's called Buzztex News. So
Buzztex News.
Yeah.
Is that online?
It's an online blog, yeah. Okay. So we're just trying to get to the bottom of obviously misconduct and try and build some bridges within the community and the police. Again, I'm not judging you. You know what I mean?
I'd say I've been quite open with you.
You have, mate. You have, and surprising, really. Just because we don't usually get this. You know, this engagement is important. Oh yeah, you all right? Yeah, you're very happy. Yeah. Is it tea time? Dorm time. Yeah. Have a good day.
On that note, appreciate your time.
No, I appreciate yours.
What's your name again, sorry?
My name's Peter. Well, they call me Peter, yeah.
Peter...
Pan. Nah. So, how many times have you... What's your name?
My name's Mark Reeve.
Nice to meet you, Mark.
Okay. Buzztex News. Right. If you have any other questions, pop into the front desk.
I've had a good chat with them. They're nice. Very professional as well. And so, yeah, Sergeant, honestly, I appreciate your time. And I know you're busy and all that. It's just, it would be nice for you to say, you know what, if that was true, he shouldn't be on the phone. Would you have anyone working for you under your, you know, would you have anyone at all working for you, under you, if that's what happened?
Would I?
Yeah.
It's not my decision.
Is it not? Whose decision would that be then?
If you come from the PSP, I don't make the decisions on
who's under your wing.
Exactly.
So you have to put up with anyone.
However, as you say, if I noted anything that was that was unlawful, I would report it, and they wouldn't be under my wing, would they?
Really?
Yeah.
And
as far as I'm aware.
And you've never had to do it. That's what you said.
Yeah. So again, I can't comment. But thanks very much for your time.
Thank you, Sergeant. Have a great day, yeah? Cheers, buddy.
You're welcome.
Have a good one. Enjoy your dinner.
Not yet.
Not yet? They never like to comment, do they? Give us a dance, Sergeant. Go on. Give us a dance. We'll one day get him. Here he is. He had his hands was covered in oil. Anyway, listen. At least he give me his time. Respect to him. You know, you can only respect what he says, even though I think he should really be commenting on it, but never mind. Alright guys, listen up. We're going to wrap this one here. This is really just a report on the officer, PC Gaffney, who did not have a duty of care for UKIP's secretary whilst having him in handcuffs in the back of a van. The back doors flew open and he fell flat on his face and split all his face up, and he ended up having to go to hospital. Alright guys, we are going to wrap it up. Just a little bit of conversation there. Reports are coming in. I'm travelling up and down the country this week to report on news and information which is happening. Guys, the link is in the description for the full article. Go and check it out. I really appreciate your time. Stay safe. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button. And remember guys, to follow me on Twitter. See you later. Adios. Peace out.